Hello everyone and welcome to Nervous Nessie. Last week we talked about changes that are coming to travel as a whole, and most of those changes were really good. Now we are going to talk about changes coming to carry-on luggage. And I am not gonna lie, these changes suck. And there's no official date of when these changes are going to come about. So before you book a trip and after you've booked the trip, before you actually travel, check the airline to see what the restrictions are on carry-ons, because it can have a very adverse effect for you. So the first change that is coming to travel has to do with the size of the luggage. Apparently, all of the airlines are wanting to make a universal size for the luggage, and it's pretty small. I have it wrote down. It's going to be 56 by 40 by 23 centimeters or 22 inches by 15.75 by 9 inches. And that's pretty small carry-on size. If you have carry-on luggage already, go ahead and measure it and see if your carry-on is within those limits. Otherwise, you're gonna have to fork out some money for some new carry-on luggage. And in the past, people have kind of been able to sneak luggage onto the plane. So let me tell you this. What they would do is when they go to check in at the front gate or at the main check-in, they wouldn't present their check-on luggage for measurements. They would go through TSA, they would get to the gate, and they would try to sneak on a bigger sized luggage onto the plane. Now, of course, if this luggage was too big, it's not going to fit in the overhead bin, and then they would have to check their luggage. And of course, they would get to check their luggage for free, thus bypassing the having to pay for a bag. Well, with this new change that's rolling out of a universal checked luggage, carry-on luggage size, that's not going to happen anymore. They're going to actually place the luggage measurement stands at the gates to where when you go through, if they see your luggage and they think it's even remotely close to being over the size limit, they will check it right there and they will charge you a fee for having to check your luggage after the fact. The next change that is going to be coming is that all electronics must be able to be turned on. Now, this was kind of already in effect. If you went through TSA and they stopped you and said, hey, we need you to turn on your laptop, you needed to be able to turn on your laptop. And it would rarely happen that somebody would get stopped and they wouldn't be able to turn it on. Maybe they would have to plug it in, let it charge up a little bit, and then turn it on. But now they're going to be checking that more frequently and really cracking down on it. So all of your electronics, your phone, your tablet, your earbuds, your smartwatch, everything must be able to be turned on in a moment's notice when you go through TSA. Speaking of electronics, there is going to be a limit on your external power banks. And I again have this wrote down. If it is under 100 watts for your power bank, it's okay. If it is 100 to 160 watts, then it's going to need the airline's approval. And if it's over 160 watts, you can't take it. It's banned. So again, before you travel, check the wattage of your external power banks. Otherwise, you're gonna have to throw your power bank away, or you're gonna have to buy one ahead of time. And that's gonna cost a lot of money. The next change that is coming for carry-ons has to do with lithium batteries. There's going to be a limit of 15 to 20 lithium batteries, depending on the airline, and I know that seems like a lot. You're thinking, okay, 15 batteries that I'm carrying with me, how, like, what all, could I possibly take? Think about it. Your cell phone, your laptop, your tablet, your wireless earbuds, your smartwatch, your camera, anything that has a battery in it, there's gonna be a limit. I know for me, I have my phone, I have a tablet. I usually don't travel with my laptop unless it's for work. I don't have a smartwatch, but I have all of my GoPro batteries. And I usually carry almost one per day for the trip. That way I don't have to worry about charging the batteries while I'm traveling. And so all of these batteries add up. So before you actually go on your trip, check and count and make sure you have the right amount of batteries for your airline. Otherwise, you're going to be throwing away some expensive batteries. The next change that is coming to carry-on luggage has to do with smart luggage. If you purchased a carry-on bag that has the electronics built into it, the change that is coming for that is that you need to be able to remove the battery if asked to do so. And when you remove the battery, you have to be able to put it into your personal item. Some of the smart luggage has the electronic locks. And if it does have the electronic locks, then your smart luggage has to be able to be unlocked with or without the battery in there. Otherwise, you can't carry it. So check your smart luggage and see if you can open the luggage without the electronic battery inside and hooked up. The final change that is coming, let's hope, to carry-ons is having to do with the weight limit for the carry-on. Again, I have it wrote down. The weight limit is going to be 8 to 10 kilograms or 17 to 22 pounds. And that's not a lot. If you are carrying your couple of toiletry items, a change of clothes, then that adds up really fast, especially if you're adding in things like electronics or your more expensive items. Now, here's the really bad kicker that goes along with that. It includes your personal items weight. That's right, you have your carry-on bag and your personal item must be a total of no more than 22 pounds. That's really, really bad. I know my backpack that I carry with me that has all of my equipment to shoot these videos. It has my medication. It has all of my necessary toiletry items in it. That one backpack alone is 25 pounds. And because the electronics add a lot of weight. And then I have my personal item. Usually the way I try to travel is I have my backpack that is my actual carry-on luggage that has all of my clothes in it. And then my backpack is my personal item. Each one of those is 25 pounds. I can no longer travel like that. I'm gonna have to start relying on checking my luggage and hoping that it doesn't disappear, which I will be doing a video on how to make sure your luggage, your checked luggage, doesn't get stolen. That's gonna be a future video, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, that's not a lot of weight that you can really add into your carry-on bag and be able to travel comfortably. Another thing that has to do with the weight of the bag is the bag must be weighed evenly. So what I mean is, let's say you have a lot of heavy stuff that you put in the bottom of your carry-on bag and everything at the top is very lightweight. They can actually weigh your carry-on bag and see if it's evenly weighed. And if it's not, you might have to pay a fee. Or you might have to stand there and take everything out of your carry-on and then rearrange it to make it evenly weigh. And you're thinking, okay, why? What is the purpose of that? Mostly it's because of safety. If you think about it, if you've ever flown before, you're putting your carry-on bag into the overhead bin, and when you go to pull it out, if the bag has been put in heavy in first, which usually it is, then when you go to pull the bag out, that extra weight's going to make the bag swing down heavier. And when it does, you could hit someone. If, let's say, there's turbulence on the flight, then the weight can make it off. There's a lot of science, technical stuff about it as to why the airlines are justifying this, but make sure that when you are packing your carry-on bag, that you're kind of packing it evenly to where your heavy items are kind of dispersed throughout the bag. That way you don't have to get flagged and pay a fee for it. A final thought about these changes coming to the carry-ons is, if for some reason you are going to be exceeding any of these limits that the airlines are putting on all of us, then look into asking about the airline's media bag policy. And what that can allow possibly is to be able to carry more batteries for things like GoPro if you're a content creator, the extra weight, the bigger sized bag, more batteries, more electronics. Just look into that whenever you go to book your ticket and see if the airline has a media bag policy, and you might be able to bypass that. Now, if you are the average person that you just want to try and squeak your bag on through, don't be a person who's going to abuse that, because for all of us who do need it, if everyone else is abusing it, then we won't be able to take advantage of that possible policy and be able to bring content to all of you. So if you are a content creator, or if you are traveling for business and you do need to carry a lot of electronics like laptops and tablets and extra batteries, look into the airline's media bag policy, because that could possibly apply to you and allow you to bring your stuff on through. I hope you enjoyed this video. I didn't enjoy making it because it's so heartbreaking. I don't know how I'm gonna travel going forward. But if you like this video, then give me a thumbs up. If you want to know when the next video comes out, then subscribe, especially that video coming up soon about how to try and not get your checked luggage stolen, because that video is going to be coming out. And I look forward to seeing everyone in the next video. Bye!